Have you ever considered doing an ADHD diagnosis to your son or daughter, but you don't do it because of what people might say or the stigma associated with the word? Well, this video, I'm going to talk to you about the 6 consequences of not diagnosing and treating your ADHD kid. And it's not going to be beautiful. I'm going to tell you the truths, how it is. And if you want to go, leave, because that's what you're doing with your child. You're not being present. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing to your child. So stay here. My name is Laura. I'm a parent coach, an ADHD parent coach. I have ADHD myself, which was diagnosed when I was 45. I have a son, Max, who has ADHD as well. He's highly explosive. And a family with lots of issues about ADHD. Many of them don't consider this a real illness or a real problem, but here I am. And I'm here to tell you that you have to do this. But before we continue, I put together a course on how to stop explosions with an ADHD kid that is right below in the comments. You can get it. It's a 6-video course that is free for you on how to stop explosions at home with your ADHD kid and how to stop them forever so that you can have the promised land of a happy, calm, beautiful family. Okay? So here we go about the consequences. So if you suspect that your child may have ADHD, but you don't want to get him treated or diagnosed, let's talk about what could happen. And I know firsthand because I was diagnosed when I was 45. So that means I've been living most of my life with ADHD without knowing it. And now I am medicated and I'm loving it. And at least I have the knowledge of all the tools that I can access for my ADHD, which are very different than any traditional books. So consequence number 1 is low self-esteem. Listen, you spent 15, 20 years going to school when you were a kid, then going to university. And what happens if every single freaking day of school, the teacher tells you you're going to go to hell, you're a bad student, leave the class, stop talking, pay attention, just study, you just have to read it. And your classmates tell you things like, Laura, it's easy. Why don't you just read the textbook and then the information will come to your head? And you get these messages every single day for 20 years. Then you go back home with the grades and your mom is like, you're a disaster, you're lazy, what are you doing? You should just study like your sisters. Every single day you receive at least 10, 20 different messages on how silly, stupid, lazy, tonta, dumb you are. What do you think that does to your self-esteem? I'll tell you right now, you grow up, you're 40, you're 35, you're 30, 40, you're in a situation with other grown-ups that have gone to really good schools like MIT, Harvard, and so on, and you think you're the dumbest person in the room because all of them have gone to these amazing universities and you don't even understand what are you doing in this room. How come can you be so lucky? Who did I trick to get into this room? And you start projects and projects and projects, one after the other one, all of them failing because you're dumb, because you believe deep in your head that you're dumb. You have a really low self-esteem. You never finish projects. That's what you're doing to your child by not getting him diagnosed, okay? I know that because I got diagnosed when I was 45 and they also tested my intelligence. And guess what? I have a really high IQ, 133. That puts me in the 5% range of very, very smart people in the world. Why do I have to know that when I'm 45? Why didn't I get the treatment when I was like 10, 8, 12? Instead of taking me to losing weight doctors, why don't you take me to why is this child explosive? Why is she upset all the time? Why is she failing every single subject? And I understand there was no official treatment in Spain then. I get it, and I've made peace with that. But what I'm telling you, the mom, the dad, is that if you suspect your child has ADHD, you need to get him diagnosed. You need to do it because if not, you're going to raise a very, very unhappy child that is going to grow up as a very unhappy adult. And that's not what you want because you love them. Okay, next consequence of not treating ADHD and not getting diagnosed, explosions. So explosions at home are a symptom that something is not working out. Something is happening in your child. And that happens when your child is a boy, and it can be like suddenly it's two different types of kids. Some kids will explode to show the world that something is not working. Help me, mom. Help me, dad. Something is not working. And how do you take it? You take it as this child is bad, but it's not. It's a symptom. Other kids will go to their room and they just be silent. and just bury themselves in books and just be silent and never want to share anything because they are shy. Other kids like me, when I was little, I was not hitting anyone, but I was like upset all the time. Why was I upset all the time? Because they were not getting me, because I was in a place where I was not supposed to be, because I was getting negative messages every single day. So if your child has explosions daily, if he's like throwing things and calling you names and biting and hitting and being an ass and being really explosive, that is a symptom that something is not working out inside. And you need to figure out what that is. And by the way, I didn't know about this, but many ADHD kids are highly explosive because this world is not made for them. Because as parents, fight them. Why are you not doing the homework? Why are you? I told you to put on your shoes. Why are you not doing this? Blah, 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 blah. And everyone is attacking them. And what do you do when you feel attacked? You either fly away or you fight. And some of the kids would fly away, the lucky ones, because at least they are not making big trouble and they are not getting terminated from their schools, and other kids will explode. And we cannot blame them. We have to find help. And many times it comes down into ADHD, autism. There's something that is not working on, and you have to spend your time and money in getting this kid the right treatment, and that starts with diagnosing him. Okay. Whew. Then the other thing you get is like at a school, every single classmate at school thinks that you're bad. Every single teacher thinks that you're bad. Everyone thinks that you're tonta. Everyone thinks that you cannot stop talking. Same thing that we say. So that goes into low self-esteem. You have also at the same time, when kids don't want to go to school refusal it is called. It is also a symptom of ADHD. What is happening in school? Is the teacher over and over and over and over again telling someone to do something that he cannot do because he may have dysgraphia, dyslexia, and so on? What is happening? So you have a school refusal. Many of these ADHD kids don't want to go to school. That's another consequence. You need to get your kid diagnosed, okay? Then the next thing is at home, you're fighting your child. So imagine this. Your child comes back home, he hasn't done homework, he throws everything on the floor, and you're fighting your child. Why you didn't do this? Why you didn't do that? Why you so lazy? Blah, 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 blah. Once you get the diagnosis and the treatment, suddenly you know who's the enemy. The enemy is not your child. The enemy is not your child. Kids do well if they can. The enemy is ADHD, is autism, is this emotional regulation system that is not adapting to what is happening today. That is the enemy. So now you can get together with your child and be like, listen, this is the enemy. Let's find solutions. Let's find systems, strategies, schedules that work with your ADHD. Let's do that. So instead of fighting each other, you become a team, fighting the challenge, fighting the problem. And that's beautiful. That builds connection. And talking about connection, that's actually the fifth consequence of not getting your child diagnosed with ADHD or whatever they have. It's like you lose the connection with your child. The connection is the most precious thing that you can have with your child. It's the love, it's the connection. It's not worth it to say, I love you, if then when your child has a trouble or they want to play, you're not there for them. So when you have an undiagnosed kid with ADHD that you're fighting over all the time, you're fighting against him all the time, you lose that connection. And that connection is the most important piece of the puzzle. If there's no connection, there's no loyalty, and there's no love, and there's no respect for you. And that comes hate. Hate comes over because my mom is not helping me. Hate because I'm showing my mom I have trouble doing these things. I'm showing her that I have all these problems and she's doing nothing. That rings so deep inside me because that's what happened with my mom. I'm showing you that I have all these challenges, and all you can think about is if I look fat, how do I look? I'm not going to take you out with these clothes. It doesn't work. I'm showing you deep inside, I need help. So if you keep on ignoring those feelings, if you don't build connection with your child, hate will take over. And that's the last thing that you want. A child that hates you. But why do they hate you? Because over and over and over and over and over and over again, you've been ignoring the cry for help. And the last thing, and I have this calms me down, the last thing that comes with not treating ADHD and not getting your kid diagnosed are addictions. And addictions can start very early, very, very early. Of course, they can go into adulthood when you're a man and you're addicted to gaming or whatever it is. But for kids and girls, come addictions to food. Addictions to food are so strong, addictions to whatever gaming, like video games. But for me, in my case, I was addicted to food from when I was like 12, 13, 14, because I was looking for some numbing. I was looking for some way of feeling good about myself. All the messages that were coming left and right, they were horrible. And I was just looking for a way to feel good, And that for me was tasting and biting and chewing. But the problem was that the more I ate, the more I put on weight. And my mom wanted a skinny, beautiful, elegant girl. And that's the person she was going to love. So what that made me do? Develop bulimia. I saw it once in school and I started doing it, and now I was addicted to food and obviously eating so much, binge eating all the time, because it was numbing me, because it was making me feel good, feeling worth it, feeling good about myself. At least I'm having some good feelings every day. And at the same time, I was vomiting. And that went on until I was 44. So until last year, when I finally realized that I was eating my feelings, that I was eating the love that I was craving. And that's what these kids need. They need the love. And if you're not going to give them the love, they're going to find it somewhere else. They will find it in games, in addictions, in drugs, in food. So you need to help them. And I developed bulimia when I was 12. So it could happen very early on. These kids are craving for love. And you're not giving them the love because you don't know what's going on with them. You think they are the enemy, but they are not. ADHD or autism or the neurodiversity that they may have is the enemy. And it's not even an enemy, it has superpowers. But you need to understand how they work. And if you don't, they are the consequences. I told you loud and clear, these are the consequences when your child is a child, not even an adult. When your boy or girl is there, you have to take action. But I'm going to tell you something else. You can learn everything that you want. There's so much information online, and you should be learning left and right. You should be getting podcasts and shorts and books and everything. You should be learning everything about this. And the number one step, you should be getting him diagnosed and then treated, whatever that means to you. But then you should continue learning. But in order to create real change in your child and in your home and in your life, you need accountability and community and a sisterhood of moms that get you. Moms like me and you that are like left and right explosions, and the school is calling and we have all these challenges, but we are also a tight community. You know why? Because outside of us, no one supports us. They don't get it. We are the 5% of the moms. Sometimes it is a 1%, because 5% of the kids may have ADHD, but 1% of them have the explosive type. So we are the 1% of the moms that are crying for help and no one gets it. This is why you need to join this community, the Good ADHD Moms community, because we get you, because I get you, because I'm here to give you my life, because I only wish my mom had this information when I was little. I only wish. So listen, click the link below, see what's included in this incredible membership, and you are going to be surprised because there's so much that is included. But you have a private Facebook group. And don't tell me about the other public groups out there. If you don't pay for something, you're not committed to do something. The good thing here is that this membership is so cheap, and I have it at 75% off forever. So you don't have any excuses for that. So check the community, check the link, see what's included, enter your name, your contact information, your payment information, and sign up. Get in touch with us. Let us help you. This community of sisters that are going through the same. This is who you need. A tight community of girls, of moms that are going through the same. And I'll see you there. We meet there every Friday. We meet there. We talk about our issues. We get some parent coaching. And then every day we're there in the community supporting you, loving you. Whatever you want to share, it's going to be okay. We've heard it all. We are tough cookies. So I'll see you there in the community, and get your child diagnosed right away. Right away.